Always waking up at night? 1. Spoon kills cortisol, fast to fall back asleep. For countless individuals across the globe, the experience of abruptly waking in the dead of night, typically between the hours of 2 and 4 a.m., is a frustrating and increasingly common disruption. This isn't just a fleeting inconvenience. It's a profound interruption to restorative sleep that leaves many feeling groggy, drained, and perpetually behind on their energy reserves. Let me be unequivocally clear right at the outset to address the prevailing misconceptions surrounding this nocturnal phenomenon. This is not simply a case of insomnia, a broad term often used to describe difficulty falling or staying asleep. The pattern is far too specific. Furthermore, it's not an inevitable consequence of getting older, a resigned acceptance that one's sleep quality must naturally decline with age. And critically, it doesn't automatically signify that your overall sleep hygiene is inherently flawed or bad, despite popular belief. Instead, what's truly disrupting your slumber is a nuanced yet powerful physiological event, a stress hormone signal that's firing at precisely the wrong time, triggering an internal alarm clock when your body should be in its deepest repose. Many people mistakenly believe these night awakenings are random occurrences, unpredictable interruptions in an otherwise peaceful night. However, this perception is far from accurate. These disturbances are anything but arbitrary. In fact, they meticulously follow a very specific, deeply ingrained biological pattern, a rhythm often exacerbated and particularly noticeable in individuals, especially men, once they cross the threshold of 40 years of age, where metabolic shifts become more pronounced. To truly understand what's unfolding beneath the surface, we must first appreciate the continuous, demanding work your brain undertakes, even as your body rests in the profound depths of deep sleep. Far from being dormant, your brain remains an incredibly active organ, constantly processing information, repairing cellular structures, consolidating memories, and maintaining vital bodily functions that are essential for survival and well-being. All of this ceaseless activity, even during apparent repose, demands a consistent and uninterrupted supply of fuel to sustain its complex operations. Under normal, healthy circumstances, your body possesses an elegant built-in mechanism to meet this nocturnal energy demand. Your liver acts as a meticulous internal energy reservoir, diligently storing a readily accessible form of glucose known as glycogen. When needed, particularly during extended periods without food intake, such as the long stretch of sleep, your liver gradually and precisely releases a small, controlled amount of this stored energy into your bloodstream. This steady trickle of glucose is specifically designed to keep your blood sugar levels remarkably stable, ensuring your brain has the uninterrupted fuel it requires throughout the entire night without creating any metabolic distress or triggering an emergency response. This delicate dance of energy release and utilization is a cornerstone of restorative sleep. However, the sophisticated balance of this finely tuned system can begin to waver and degrade over time, influenced by a confluence of modern lifestyle factors and the natural progression of aging. As we accumulate years, the efficiency of our metabolic machinery can subtly diminish, impacting how effectively our liver stores and releases glycogen. Chronic stress, a pervasive and often unacknowledged element in contemporary life, relentlessly taxes the adrenal glands, leading to an over-reliance on stress hormones and further depleting the body's overall energy reserves, including those in the liver. Ironically, even minor ongoing sleep disturbances themselves contribute to a vicious cycle, as poor sleep impairs metabolic function and exacerbates the very issue they cause, making the body less efficient at managing energy. Aggressive or poorly structured dieting, especially those involving prolonged calorie restriction or significant carbohydrate deprivation without adequate compensatory fat intake, can drastically deplete the liver's glycogen stores, leaving it with insufficient reserves to manage overnight energy demands. Furthermore, the silent, insidious creep of insulin resistance, often a precursor to more serious metabolic conditions, compromises the body's ability to efficiently utilize glucose, further contributing to the depletion of these crucial overnight energy reserves by making cells less responsive to insulin. The combined weight of these factors, aging, persistent stress, inadequate sleep, restrictive dietary practices, and escalating insulin resistance, slowly but relentlessly drains the liver's vital glycogen stores, leaving the body vulnerable during the most vulnerable hours of the night. It is at this precarious juncture, when these internal reserves are severely diminished, that the body's fundamental survival instincts are triggered. When your blood sugar dips too low during the deep sleep cycles of the night, your brain interprets this sudden and sustained lack of readily available fuel as a genuine emergency, a primal signal of potential starvation or an existential threat, regardless of whether you had a full dinner just hours before. In response to this perceived crisis, your body doesn't hesitate. It reacts with the only powerful mechanism it inherently knows to rectify an immediate energy deficit and mobilize resources for survival. It releases a surge of cortisol. Cortisol itself is not an inherently bad hormone. Quite the contrary, it is an utterly essential, potent survival hormone, expertly designed to rouse the body, increase blood sugar by breaking down muscle tissue, and prepare it for fight or flight in times of acute danger or severe physiological stress. It's a lifesaver in genuine emergencies. However, while cortisol is a hero in the face of genuine threat, its nocturnal deployment transforms it into a disruptive force. When this powerful hormone spikes unexpectedly in the dead of night, it executes two immediate and highly effective actions that severely compromise your sleep architecture. Firstly, it instantly jolts you awake, often with a profound sense of alertness and clarity, as if an internal alarm has been forcibly sounded within your brain, switching your system from rest to alert. Secondly, and equally frustratingly, once awake, it makes it exceedingly difficult, almost impossible, to simply relax and fall back asleep, as your system is now primed for action and vigilance, not tranquil rest. The body's survival mechanism, activated at the wrong time, becomes the very antagonist of deep sleep. This precise physiological sequence accounts for the widespread and deeply frustrating accounts I consistently hear from so many men, particularly those navigating the challenges of life over 40. Their narrative is almost identical, conveying a shared sense of bewilderment and exhaustion. "Coach, I have no trouble whatsoever falling asleep at night. I drift off easily, within minutes of my head hitting the pillow. But then, without warning, I wake up suddenly, usually between 2 and 4 a.m., and my mind is immediately wide awake, alert, and often racing with thoughts, not necessarily worries, but just active. This feeling of immediate mental clarity, that sharp cognitive edge that makes it impossible to simply close your eyes and drift back off, is frequently misinterpreted as an active mind or unresolved stress manifesting itself. People often blame their daytime anxieties or an overactive brain for these awakenings. However, it's crucial to understand that this sensation is not your mind independently conjuring thoughts or worries from thin air, nor is it a sign of psychological distress being the primary trigger in this specific scenario. It is the direct, unmistakable effect of cortisol actively doing its job, a powerful survival mechanism that is, unfortunately, misfiring and activating at precisely the wrong time, during a period when your body should be deep in restorative, uninterrupted sleep. Your brain perceives a critical energy shortage and flips the switch to awake, and the subsequent mental alertness is a direct physiological consequence, not necessarily the root cause of the awakening itself. To further illustrate the profound and tangible impact of addressing this specific cortisol trigger, allow me to quickly share a more detailed, real-world example from my practice, which encapsulates the experiences of many individuals. One of my clients, a driven and successful individual navigating the demanding landscape of a high-pressure corporate role, was 52 years old when he first sought guidance. His nights had become a consistent cycle of profound disruption. Almost every single night, with disturbing regularity, he would find himself abruptly waking around 3 a.m., The frustrating aspect was the absence of any obvious external stimulus. There were no phone notifications, no alarming noises, and critically, no conscious stressful thoughts swirling in his mind that he could pinpoint as the cause. He was simply, profoundly wide awake, often staring at the ceiling, unable to comprehend why his body insisted on rousing him from sleep with such precision. This chronic sleep fragmentation left him feeling perpetually exhausted, mentally foggy during the day, and increasingly irritable. Within an astonishingly short period, just 2 weeks, of meticulously identifying and implementing strategies specifically designed to fix this exact cortisol trigger, his nightly awakenings dramatically reduced. The shift was not subtle, it was a profound transformation in his sleep architecture, with nights becoming consistently longer and deeper. But what truly underscored the holistic nature of this biological interconnectedness was the cascade of other remarkably positive changes that accompanied his improved sleep. His overall energy levels, which had previously suffered from chronic disruption and left him feeling lethargic by midday, saw a remarkable uplift. The nagging, persistent cravings for unhealthy snacks and quick energy fixes, which had plagued him for years as his body desperately sought to compensate for lack of sleep, noticeably diminished. And perhaps most gratifyingly for him, the stubborn layer of belly fat that he had struggled to lose despite numerous attempts with diet and exercise, and which had seemed impervious to his efforts, finally began to melt away, restarting a fat loss journey that had long been stalled and seemed hopeless. This compelling outcome is not a coincidence. It is a clear demonstration of a fundamental physiological truth. Sleep hormones and fat loss hormones are not isolated entities functioning independently. They are intricately and deeply connected, operating within a complex symphony where the disruption of one inevitably impacts the balance and function of the others, proving that addressing sleep is a critical cornerstone of metabolic health. This brings us to a crucial point where many people harbor significant misunderstandings about cortisol, particularly regarding what truly triggers its spikes at night. There's a widespread belief that nocturnal cortisol surges are primarily or even solely a consequence of external factors like consuming too much coffee during the day, engaging in strenuous exercise too late in the evening, or simply experiencing excessive levels of mental stress in isolation. While these elements can certainly influence the body's overall stress response and contribute to a heightened state of arousal and a general feeling of unease, they do not tell the full story, nor are they the direct primary cause of the specific 2-4 a.m. awakening pattern that we are discussing. It's vital to clarify that this perspective, while containing elements of truth, is not entirely accurate, nor does it capture the core mechanism at play in these early morning awakenings. The most direct and potent reason cortisol spikes at night, leading to those unwelcome and frustrating awakenings, is fundamentally because your brain perceives a critical state of low energy availability. It's a primal hardwired response to a perceived deficit in the immediate fuel supply needed to sustain its operations through the long hours of the night. Your brain, in essence, is sounding an internal alarm, not because you're worried about tomorrow's presentation or a looming deadline, but because it senses its energy tank is running dangerously low, and its survival mechanism prioritizes waking you up to potentially find food or deal with a perceived threat over allowing you to continue sleeping peacefully. Understanding this distinction is key to effectively addressing the problem. Given this profound understanding of the brain's internal energy alarm and its role in triggering nocturnal cortisol surges, the most effective and biologically intelligent way to calm this signal is not through brute force methods or external interventions that attempt to mask the problem without addressing its root cause. It is not found in prescription sleep medication, which often comes with its own set of side effects, dependency risks, and often leaves individuals feeling groggy or unwell the next day, without truly solving the underlying metabolic issue. Nor is it in a myriad of generic sleep supplements that might offer temporary relief but fail to adequately address the fundamental energy deficit at the core of the the problem. Furthermore, it's certainly not in the counterproductive act of trying to force yourself back to sleep, a struggle that only amplifies internal stress, raises anxiety, and further activates the nervous system, thereby making sleep even more elusive. Instead, the most elegant and impactful solution lies in a subtle yet profound biological intervention. It's about strategically giving your nervous system a small, safe, and reassuring signal that, contrary to its alarm bells, energy is indeed available. This isn't about ingesting a large meal or consuming something heavy and difficult to digest. It's about a finely tuned metabolic message to your internal systems that there is no emergency, no impending energy crisis that warrants a stress response. This is precisely where the ingeniously simple, yet scientifically grounded, one spoon idea comes into play. It's not presented as a magic trick or a mystical remedy, but rather it operates as a sophisticated biological cue, a precisely calibrated signal designed to gently re-establish energetic equilibrium and allow your body to remain in its natural state of rest. The essence of this strategy revolves around introducing a very small, carefully selected amount of the right type of food shortly before bedtime, typically 30-60 minutes before you plan to sleep. The objective is not to provide a caloric feast that would burden digestion or significantly impact blood sugar. Rather, it's to stabilize blood sugar just enough to prevent that critical dip, which triggers the cortisol surge later in the night. Crucially, this must be achieved without simultaneously spiking insulin levels to an undesirable degree, without disrupting your body's fat loss mechanisms, a common concern, and without burdening your digestive system with heavy work when it should be resting and repairing. For a significant number of individuals, a single teaspoon of natural, unprocessed honey proves to be an exceptionally effective choice. Its efficacy isn't due to any magical properties of honey itself, but rather its precise biochemical composition and how the body processes it in such small quantities. Honey is primarily composed of fructose and glucose in roughly equal measure, delivered in an easily digestible form. When consumed in such a minute amount before sleep, the fructose component is predominantly taken up by the liver. Herein lies its power. This small influx of fructose gently and efficiently refills the liver's glycogen stores, those very reserves that become depleted over time due to aging, stress, and lifestyle factors. By topping up liver glycogen just slightly, honey provides the brain with the precise, subtle signal it needs. Energy reserves are adequate. There is no immediate threat of fuel depletion. This small yet profound act preempts the brain from triggering the stress-induced cortisol release overnight, thereby allowing your body to remain in a state of restful, deep sleep without interruption. While honey is highly effective and widely applicable for many, individual metabolic responses and dietary preferences can vary significantly. For others, a small amount of high-quality nut butter, such as almond butter, cashew butter, or even peanut butter, provided it's natural and without added sugars or hydrogenated oils, proves to be a more suitable and potent solution. The primary benefit of nut butter in this context stems from its rich fat content, combined with its protein and fiber. Dietary fats are known for their ability to significantly slow down the digestion and absorption of any accompanying carbohydrates. This creates a sustained, gradual release of glucose into the bloodstream, rather than a rapid spike and subsequent crash. This gentle, prolonged energetic availability is precisely what the nervous system seeks to avoid perceiving a nighttime energy crisis. Beyond the benefits of healthy fats, nut butters are also excellent natural sources of essential minerals, most notably magnesium. Magnesium is a crucial electrolyte and cofactor in hundreds of enzymatic reactions throughout the body, playing a particularly vital role in nervous system regulation. It is often referred to as nature's relaxant because of its ability to calm the nervous system reduce muscle tension and promote a sense of tranquility. The magnesium present in nut butter further supports the body's ability to remain relaxed and signals safety, working synergistically with the stable blood sugar to prevent cortisol surges. Thus, the combination of healthy fats, protein, fiber, and magnesium in nut butter not only ensures that blood sugar remains stable for a longer duration throughout the night, preventing the internal alarm signal, but also actively contributes to a more relaxed and resilient nervous system, facilitating deeper, uninterrupted sleep and preventing the body from activating its stress response. A third effective alternative, particularly for those who may prefer a different metabolic pathway or have specific dietary considerations, is a teaspoon of virgin coconut oil. The key to coconut oil's efficacy lies in its unique composition of medium-chain triglycerides, MCTs. Unlike most other dietary fats, which are longer-chain fatty acids that require more complex digestion and transport through the lymphatic system, MCTs are metabolized differently. They are absorbed more rapidly from the gut and transported directly to the liver, where they can be quickly converted into ketones through a process called ketogenesis. These ketones serve as an alternative and highly efficient fuel source for the brain. By providing the brain with a ready supply of rapidly available energy in the form of ketones, coconut oil effectively bypasses the need for the liver to mobilize its glycogen stores and prevents the brain from sending out its low-energy stress signal. This direct and efficient energy delivery can significantly reduce nighttime stress signaling within the brain, thereby preventing the cortisol response and allowing for continuous, restful sleep. The availability of these diverse options, honey, nut butter, coconut oil, underscores the principle that while the specific food may vary based on individual preference, metabolic response, and dietary restrictions, the underlying biological mechanism remains consistent, providing the brain with a timely, subtle, and non-disruptive energy signal to prevent the activation of stress hormones and ensure a peaceful night's rest. It's about finding the right biological key for your unique system. It is absolutely vital to underscore this fundamental truth. The point of this strategy is emphatically not about the specific food item itself in an isolated sense. It is not about declaring honey magical or nut butter a miracle cure that transcends all other nutritional principles. The profound efficacy and true genius of this approach lies entirely in what signal that particular food, in that small quantity, sends to your nervous system. When you introduce this small, carefully chosen spoon of energy before bed, you are, in essence, communicating a direct and profoundly reassuring message to your entire physiological system, from your brain to your adrenal glands. There is no emergency. Your energy reserves are stable and sufficient. There is no threat of starvation or fuel depletion that requires you to rouse me from my essential rest. You do not need to wake me up and prepare me for action. This quiet yet powerfully potent biological affirmation allows your body to remain in a state of calm and deep restorative sleep, undisturbed by false alarms, trusting that its needs are met. It's a gentle recalibration of a primal survival mechanism, ensuring it only activates when genuinely necessary, not when your liver simply needs a tiny top-up. This thoughtful intervention demonstrates a deep respect for your body's inherent intelligence and its intricate hormonal signaling pathways, helping it to revert to its intended state of nocturnal restoration. Now, I am keenly aware that for many individuals, particularly those who are highly health conscious, mindful of their metabolic health, or actively engaged in a fat loss journey, a significant concern immediately arises when discussing consuming anything, especially something with carbohydrates, before bed. The thought that often crosses their mind is, no, surely this will spike my insulin like a full meal, and wouldn't that completely cancel out any efforts towards fat loss? Let me be unequivocally clear and dispel this important myth right here and now, because it's a critical distinction that can profoundly impact your progress. No, this strategic one-spoon intervention does not spike insulin in the same manner or to the same detrimental degree as a substantial meal. The body's insulin response is proportionate to the amount and type of macronutrients consumed. Large, disruptive insulin spikes, the kind that can indeed hinder fat burning and promote fat storage, are a direct consequence of consuming large loads of rapidly digestible carbohydrates, especially when combined with a high overall caloric intake. This is an entirely different metabolic scenario from what we are proposing. What we are discussing here is a teaspoon-level signal, an infinitesimally small amount of food designed to provide a targeted biological cue, not a caloric surplus that overloads the system. When combined with an overall dietary approach that typically involves controlled calorie intake and a stable metabolism, this minute quantity of food is insufficient to trigger a significant insulin response that would impede fat loss. In fact, the opposite is true, and the distinction is paramount for anyone serious about their long-term health and body composition goals. Consider the metabolic consequences of not addressing these night awakenings. Chronic disrupted sleep caused by these persistent cortisol surges actually has a far more detrimental impact on your metabolic health than a small spoon of honey or nut butter. Regular sleep deprivation and nocturnal cortisol spikes demonstrably raise cortisol levels the next day, leading to increased systemic inflammation, heightened stress, and, most critically, a significant increase in insulin resistance throughout your body. When your cells become resistant to insulin, they struggle to absorb glucose from the bloodstream, leading to persistently higher blood sugar levels and an increased tendency for the body to store fat, particularly stubborn belly fat, which is notoriously difficult to dislodge. Therefore, by proactively improving nighttime cortisol control through this targeted nutritional strategy, you're not only enhancing your sleep quality, but are also directly supporting and optimizing your body's ability to lose fat, especially around the midsection. This is a powerful synergistic effect where better sleep directly translates into better metabolic regulation and more effective fat loss rather than the detrimental opposite. It's an investment in your metabolic health, not a compromise. Beyond the carefully calibrated nutritional signal, there are other powerful, yet simple, biological tools that can massively enhance your body's ability to navigate the night peacefully and reduce these unwelcome awakenings. One such indispensable aid is magnesium. Magnesium is not merely another mineral. It is a critical macromineral involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions throughout the human body, making it fundamental to almost every major bodily function. In the context of sleep and stress, its role is particularly profound. Magnesium acts as a natural calmant, directly influencing the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) axis, which is essentially the central command center of your brain responsible for regulating your body's stress response. By modulating the HPA axis, magnesium helps to dampen the overactivity that can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and an exaggerated fight-or-flight response. A sufficient intake of magnesium helps to quiet the nervous system, promote muscle relaxation, and support the production of neurotransmitters like GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid, which is known for its calming effects and its role in reducing neuronal excitability. This is precisely why incorporating a high-quality magnesium supplement, particularly bioavailable forms like magnesium bisglycinate, magnesium L-threonate, or magnesium citrate, before bedtime often results in a noticeable improvement in overall sleep depth, making your sleep cycles more robust and restorative. Simultaneously, by assisting in the downregulation of the HPA axis and promoting a more tranquil state, magnesium significantly reduces the likelihood and frequency of those jarring night awakenings caused by cortisol surges. It helps your body truly relax and let go of tension, preparing it for uninterrupted rest, further amplifying this sense of safety and calm for the nervous system. And working in perfect synergy with both the nutritional strategy and magnesium supplementation are simple yet profoundly effective breathing techniques. Our breath is a direct conduit to our autonomic nervous system, the part of our brain that controls involuntary bodily functions like heart rate, digestion, and stress response. By consciously controlling our breath, we can deliberately shift our nervous system from a state of sympathetic arousal, the fight or flight response, characterized by increased heart rate and alertness, to parasympathetic dominance, the rest and digest state, promoting relaxation and recovery. Specifically, slow, deliberate nasal breathing, where the inhalation and exhalation occur entirely through the nostrils, is incredibly powerful. Nasal breathing naturally encourages deeper engagement of the diaphragm, which in turn stimulates the vagus nerve, a key player in the parasympathetic nervous system. This activation sends calming signals throughout the body, reducing heart rate, lowering blood pressure, and signaling to the brain that there is no immediate threat, thus diminishing the stress response and preparing the body for sleep. An even more structured approach like box breathing, inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, performed for just a few minutes before drifting off to sleep, serves as an incredibly potent signal of safety. This rhythmic, controlled breathing pattern not only physically slows down your physiology, but mentally trains your nervous system to return to a state of equilibrium. It's a powerful, non-pharmacological way to actively participate in your body's relaxation response, further reinforcing the message that it's safe to remain asleep and that there is no need for alarm. Again, as with the 1 spoon concept and magnesium, the beauty of these breathing techniques lies in their simplicity and their profound alignment with our inherent biology. There is nothing extreme or overly complicated required here. It is simply about understanding and respectfully working with your body's natural mechanisms rather than against them, to cultivate an environment conducive to deep, uninterrupted sleep and robust hormonal health. Perhaps as you've absorbed this detailed explanation, a profound sense of recognition has settled upon you. You might be thinking, this clarifies so much about what I've been experiencing. It truly explains the inexplicable awakenings and the persistent fatigue that have plagued me for too long. If this resonant understanding sparks a desire for a more comprehensive, step-by-step solution, a structured roadmap to systematically address these intertwined issues, from sleep to energy to stubborn fat, then I want to assure you that such a resource exists. This is precisely why I meticulously designed and developed my 12-week Lean Body program. It is not merely a collection of isolated tips or quick fixes. Instead, it is a holistic, integrated system, thoughtfully crafted to serve the specific needs and unique challenges faced by busy professionals, especially those over the age of 40, who often find themselves caught in a cycle of high demands and depleted resources. The program's core objective is to guide you towards sustainable fat loss, not through deprivation or extreme measures, but by optimizing your body's natural metabolic and hormonal functions through intelligent strategies. Simultaneously, it is engineered to cultivate significantly better sleep quality, ensuring you wake up truly refreshed and energized rather than perpetually drained and feeling like you need another night's rest. It aims to restore vibrant energy levels that support your demanding professional and personal life without relying on caffeine or artificial stimulants to get through the day. Crucially, a cornerstone of the program is achieving long-term hormonal balance. We delve into strategies that harmonize not just cortisol, but also insulin sensitivity, thyroid function, and even sex hormones, understanding that true vitality and well-being stem from this intricate internal symphony. This is accomplished without resorting to the unsustainable extremes of restrictive diets that inevitably lead to burnout, rebound weight gain, and a diminished quality of life. Nor does it demand hours of punishing exercise that can further exacerbate stress and fatigue in an already overtaxed system. You'll find all the pertinent details and an in-depth overview of the program linked below. I encourage you to explore it calmly, without pressure, and objectively assess whether its philosophy and structured approach align with your personal goals and lifestyle. It's an opportunity to invest in a framework that respects your body's intelligence and supports its innate capacity for balance and resilience, empowering you to take control of your health. Always remember this fundamental truth about your physiology. Your body is not inherently broken. It is an incredibly intelligent, adaptive, and responsive organism, constantly striving for equilibrium and optimal function. What you are experiencing, whether it's the frustration of night awakenings, persistent fatigue, stubborn weight gain, or a general feeling of being off, is simply your body's intelligent, albeit sometimes inconvenient response to the cumulative signals you are inadvertently or unknowingly giving it. These signals encompass everything from your dietary choices, your activity levels, your stress management techniques, your sleep hygiene, your exposure to light and darkness, and even your thoughts and emotional state. The profound insight here is that by becoming aware of these signals, by understanding their impact, and by then intentionally and strategically fixing these signals, everything else begins to fall into its rightful place. Your sleep will deepen, your energy will surge, your hormones will rebalance, and your body will naturally gravitate towards its healthiest, leanest, and most vibrant state, allowing you to live with greater vitality and peace. Thank you for taking the time to delve into this crucial topic. Your commitment to understanding your body is the first and most powerful step towards reclaiming your rest, energy, and overall well-being. I look forward to supporting your journey and seeing you thrive, experiencing the profound difference that comes from truly aligning with your body's innate wisdom.